funny because we were actually like planning on talking about some of that.
The hardcore community, especially, it's insane. So
How
much
can
stuff
this
has happened.
nightmare be my life? Dude, shout out, Fixed Altitude, the worst band that's ever been created.
Never heard of them until now.
Oh, dude, it's a whole Twitter thing, and I feel totally justified in talking shit about them because they literally, apparently, allegedly, they did a police report on a band because they were talking shit about them, like being abuse, like apologists and shit. And I'm like, oh wow, quadruple L's everywhere. I love it.
That's a first.
Quadruple L's, baby. Not like the show. Welcome. I had the camera rolling.
That was a good
this whole
segue.
time.
I like that. That was a great segue.
I'm in there.
No, but seriously, guys, welcome to this stupid shit. It's called New Guest Who Dis.
Thanks for having us.
You know it. You love it. It is the part where we interview fine Chicago local bands. So far, it's just been Chicago, maybe.
And who do we have here, Mike? I'm putting you on the spot this time.
Yeah, it's funny. I'm going to go ahead and remind you, Eli, of what happened last time.
Oh.
Do you remember? Abscissor? Which one is it, boys? Abscissor. Okay, see, I got it right. I got it right in the pick
Nailed
of the
it.
week.
So proud of you.
Yeah, I know. Thank you. How about some golf claps from me?
Yeah,
I'm trying to do a blast beat best I can.
Yeah, we always have to tag full Abscissor band because I think people still use the machine. And
The videos are still getting used to this day. The video count,
Wait.
I've checked it.
Is
the
that
view count on
real?
those videos still goes
Oh, it's
up.
real, yeah.
No, that is a workout machine. I
I don't know if it was in the 90s or early 2000s, but yeah, people really love that thing. Like the people who have it, they cult following. So
They just they just dust it off. They're like, I'm never getting rid of you. You've been through 3 girlfriends.
It's just like my family
get
with the
excited.
total gym.
they probably get excited when they see us posting. They're like, no, it's just some shitty band. God damn it.
Bro,
I thought
these
someone
are
else got. I
ads.
thought they had a new ad, new model or something.
They're not shredded. What is he?
We need to
Not a
blend
single one of
both
them.
Yeah.
We need to blend both things together, and people need to do that in the pit as just the moves during all the breakdowns.
Yeah.
You know what?
How
I'm
hard
gonna
do you
start
think it
doing
would
that
be?
now.
Yeah,
I'm gonna be completely
How
frank
hard
with
do you
you,
think it
Eli.
would be?
That's bordering on a Monomar throwing the boat behavior, and I don't know if I can back that, bro. I might be the outlier in that.
Boo.
Oh, that's
Then,
fair.
not to mention, there's people who do push-ups in the pit, so I'm gonna be the first guy to do sit-ups in the middle of it.
Sit-ups.
I would respect that
That
more.
was so dangerous.
I would respect that more because we need to. The core is the foundation of all gains. So you're on the right track.
Can't do blast beats without core strength.
True.
Thank you, Abscissor, for sponsoring this interview.
Speaking of
Oh,
core
yeah,
strength,
absolutely.
Oh yeah, we sponsor him, but we ain't got no money, dog. Sorry.
Yeah, I'm like, we didn't pay anything, right?
speaking of core strength, you guys, as of right now, just released a pre-order. Right?
Just released a pre-order. What is this, Winter Sun?
You know, it's funny. I was thinking, they're both like, No, it's funny because in a very strange fashion, this is the first thing out of the Shreddy Bois episode that we are doing. This is before the episode's recorded. We haven't even done the riff challenge at this point. And this is airing towards the end of the month. So, you guys...
That's lit though.
You guys just released your new album. Technically, if you want to be technical. Technical.
In the time warp of everything, the album is out, and dude, like I've got Led Zeppelin hitting me up, dude. I've got fucking James Hetfield in my DMs looking for tone, even though I literally just copied his tone. So it's like, bro, we're going crazy right now.
You're beating people off with a stick. That's how popular this album is.
Hell, I'm just beating people off, honestly.
You've already released 3 music videos, right?
Oh yeah. The one with the strippers in it, that was crazy, unexpected.
Wow.
Yeah, we
do
actually
apologize
just got the
for that
notification
one,
that got X'd out in Poland. We know all of our Polish fans can't watch that video anymore, unfortunately.
So this is doubling as an apology video. We apologize.
How about?
But also, I'm gonna be the one band member that's disingenuous. I don't apologize at all.
Yeah.
Facts.
How about that endorsement you just got for exercise equipment? That's pretty impressive. You want to
Oh yeah. The Abscissor actually decided to get into our DMs, and now Abscissor is partnering partnering with Abscissor, and I plan on being
Joining the
on the
brand
machine
together.
on stage while playing guitar. It'll be good. It'll be really good.
And for anyone who pre-ordered, you will be getting the Abscissor tape with your package. If you fucking pirate that shit, though, I'm suing you. So, and I don't have any money, so I'm willing to just go all out.
Oh man, we're in the age of pirating too, so we're in
Yeah.
trouble.
Oh, yeah, we are. We haven't even hit the golden age. We don't have space pirate ships yet. So we haven't even hit the golden age yet.
We don't even have hovercrafts yet.
Soon.
I'm
Soon.
upset about that. Anyway, yeah, we have Abscissor on. They have a new album out. What is the new album called?
It's called Metanoia.
Metanoia.
Metanoia? I think I heard.
All right, fantastic. Tell us about it, boys. Anybody?
All right, Bryson, you're the root, so you have to start. You're the root of all this. We will
Oh,
add
boy.
on.
Guys, I didn't prepare.
You lived your whole life.
This is an album that has been written for 13 years, and just lots of members, and time and things have happened, and so finally, this lineup didn't become a thing until like 2015. We played a lot of shows actually. We went on a tour, came back, and as usual, everyone's favorite story is we couldn't find a drummer, so we decided to call it quits because my boys were coming from Joliet to Chicago every night for a long while, and I was just like, why are we doing this still? So we decided to get back together. Was it last year or was it a year and a half ago?
It's about
now?
a year and a half, yeah, because the whole process for recording everything was basically a year, right, Eli? That sounds about right for the time frame, like recording everything.
It was pretty much about a year, and then after that, it only took maybe 2 months, 3 months to get the mastering done, and then we started talking to These Hands Melt to start doing this release.
Workhorse.
Can I ask you about that for a second, if you don't mind? I'm sorry to interject.
No, go
I've
for
seen
it.
some bands that will work with like a. Would you say it is a label? Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Okay. It is a label. Now, some of these labels, they're not like obviously bigger labels and whatnot. Do they help mostly with like distribution, or do they have partners that they work with in terms of like merchandise or?
It's it's all of the above. It's pretty much the same thing as any other major label would, except for the roster size is smaller. But
okay,
with that, I mean, the team that we've been working with has been fantastic. They put their time into everything. It's great, because everybody thinks you have to be signed to like Metal Blade and all these other things, but it's really just about working with people and creating a relationship with people. So even if the label's a little smaller, it's all about the quality that they're putting out.
I've always been curious because obviously with the one you just mentioned, there are tons of like little smaller labels, and I was just you always hear about one of your friends' bands that gets signed to one of these labels, and I'm like, that's curious. I've always wondered if it actually helps. It kind of sounds like it does and is, so
yeah,
that's good.
I think it's helping us a lot because we are kind of unknown. We have a couple friends that were thankfully waiting for us to come back, and that's awesome. But otherwise, very unknown and still drummerless at the moment. So, hoping to
Hit us
get on
up,
stage.
please. Please play with us. We are so much fun.
Yeah.
We have a good time.
Yeah, so hoping to get on stage, but at the moment, no prospects. So they are really helping a lot when it comes to pushing and helping us get this to people who might not have heard about it otherwise. So yeah.
Okay, so I guess that could be my follow-up question. Did you guys use a session drummer for the album, or did you guys
did you use R2D2?
R2D2. Yeah.
Yeah,
I'm R2D2, and Eli made it sound better.
Yeah,
than,
we got R2D2 and
three.
C3PO over here coagulating this shit.
Oh,
and
my.
I will say it's been quite fantastic. And now that we've confirmed it, I can say one of the biggest compliments that we've gotten, and I think we get it consistently, is that people always think it's a real drummer. But no, this dude, okay, relative to the screens, this dude all the way on the end slaved over that shit.
Yeah.
Even Morrow, when we said it to him and like we got everything together and we started talking to group chat, he's like, I cannot believe what? How is these not real drums? So yeah, very proud, especially because based off of what the original drums were, it had like a perfect balance. The original drumming was a lot looser because our drummer approached things metal technique but like a jazz approach, if that makes sense. Like he had metal technique all day, but it's just he flowed
Fucking
things a lot
jazz.
differently. Yeah, and which is so essential to what we do too. We're like we are those kind of prog guys. Like we are like listening to Weather Report and like doing cringe shit like that. But we love it. And it's good, but now like with the direction we've gone now, we need a much more of a direct approach, I think, depending on the old one. Plus, the old drummer is just not like that's just old news, you know. So we're just brand new beginnings, you know.
Yeah. Well, yeah, I was gonna say that's why it didn't even like cross my mind. It sounds very good.
I appreciate that.
Superior.
I make.
Or...
No, it's Perfect Drums from Naughty Seal Audio. I've been working with that for a handful of years, and it's just basically not anything spectacular. I would say probably Superior's a little bit more versatile, but it's just what I've been working with. But I did spend a lot of time trying to balance, because on this album you get songs that are more progressive metal, death metal approach that are heavy. Then there's a lot of songs too that are more post metal and very ambient and more sludgy driven. So the kind of span that I had to take with making the drums was filling out the overheads as much as possible to make sure those sounded like you were sitting in a room with the kit. And from there, every song had some kind of a different effects chain that I was working with, because I was like, oh, this is going to service this song better, and you know, the other way around. So it took some time, but I'm happy with the production and the stuff we got to do together. So it was all done in-house, and that was very fun.
Is this your first offering? Like, is this album going to be the first thing that you guys release? Because I tried looking for some stuff on some streaming services, and the only thing I could find was the single Fading from Memory.
Yeah, this is the first thing.
That's incredible.
13
years.
It sounds really good for being the first goddamn thing that you guys like release officially. You know?
Thanks. Yeah.
Like,
I mean, there's a really old demo on Bandcamp that sounds really bad, so don't find that. But
I'm gonna find it.
I'll look for it.
You should.
Shouldn't have said anything.
I mean, I don't know. It holds up. When I originally met Bryson, because we met each other, we had a mutual friend that was playing a show, and Bryson's band was on there with the old lineup. I met Bryson, and God, I kind of lost my train of thought.
Okay.
Basically, what I'm getting to is
Pop-Tarts.
best one,
amazing breakfast,
frozen strawberry milkshake in the freezer. Lil Uzi was right. Lil Uzi was completely right on that. Okay. What I was saying. But the demo. That's what I meant to say. The whole thing with the demo was, I will say, even for that being like a super primitive demo compared to like what we have now, when you hear the real version of Break the Cycle, it entranced me completely. Because where I was at musically, I've basically just become a person who plays heavy music but doesn't listen to it. Mm-hmm. That was in a period where I was kind of going out of the heavy music, but it got me right back in. It made me want to listen to that genre of music more again. So, I will say it's so crazy to see how everything's transformed from those primitive beginnings to now, especially after all the work we put in over those last 2 years. Like, it's really crazy to see.
Yeah, that's awesome. I mean, geez, this is a pretty great story already, you know. And so where are you guys at with all this then? Obviously, as time goes,
as time is going on,
as time too is going.
You know what? You brought up time. I'm pretty sure, Eli, you saw me post like a meme on the Winter Sun comment section. He made me a top fan. I was made a top fan now because of that.
So funny.
Oh my God.
Even on the Instagram, he's like, it's been a crazy 6 months. Crazy 6 months, more like 12 years. 18 if you've been waiting since 2006, my guy.
It's so good.
Yeah, 2011. It's fucked up.
I never thought in 2024 we'd have like a power metal like lol cow, but here we are. It's a beautiful thing. I love it.
No, and you know, and if you look at the Indiegogo, what's it called? Price in order for you to get the pre-order, it's 50.
Oh my God.
It's like $60, and I'm like, are you fucking kidding?
It's EA Sports, man.
It's
EA
yeah,
the game.
Yeah, what kind of fucking DLC is that? This shit sucks, man. Like, it's like, and this is coming from someone who plays Destiny, dude. I know about overpaying for bullshit.
No.
Okay? No, we're not talking about that shit. No, I'm literally cutting down till next expansion, bro. We need no. But Winter Sun and Destiny 2 are basically the same thing. So
Yeah,
I learned my lesson very early. I think it was the Forsaken. What was it? The Forsaken King or something.
It's either Forsaken or Taken King. Both
There
great expansions, but it's just one of the things that's like, okay, you could enter into a great expansion, but there's a bunch of shit to do. And if you're not a complete like nerd like I am, or you have a more of a life than I do, then yeah, you're gonna want to do something else.
It held me over during COVID, but it also hurt my thumbs, so I had to stop.
And then every time that me and this fucker tried to play together, because I was like, oh my god, Bryson's playing, like it was like, I'm not interested. Bryson's not interested. I'm not interested. It's just like the ultimate love hate.
God, during COVID, what did I do? I think I played mostly Red Dead Redemption Online and Call of Duty Warzone. That's what I was doing mostly. I was broing down.
He was broing down.
It was Breath of the Wild for me. I got a Switch and I got way back into my Nintendo. That's where like my roots of gaming are. But Nintendo. I was sucked into that. Mario Odyssey, got back into all that.
That's actually funny. During the pandemic, so my birthday is March 31st. Keep that in mind.
Okay.
When the pandemic happened, it was literally a week before my birthday. So it was 2020, right before my birthday. And I'm like, all I want for my birthday is a Nintendo Switch. And I didn't have a Switch. And then sure enough, those fuckers got bought up to oblivion. There was no Switches available at all. So for like a year and a half, I was using these like email things where it's like stockinformer.com and like every time
trying to hunt those fuckers down
exactly for a Nintendo goddamn Switch. And finally I got one.
So crazy to think about.
Isn't that weird? Is this like that thing that you kind of just forget, you put in the back of your head, and one day you're like punching a picture in your room and you're just or a wall perhaps.
Whatever your preferred surface is to hit.
Exactly.
I'm more of a hollow core door kind of guy, but that's also just because I gotta keep my knuckles together. Exactly. I want to feel strong, but I don't want to.
And you want to follow through.
Yeah. Exactly. Bryson gets me.
Jesus Christ. I don't even remember what we were talking about originally.
Before you went on to time too, I guess. Before you mentioned time.
Okay. Yeah. Jesus
I mean,
Christ.
I will say, as long as we've waited for this album to come out, this is the perfect time. This is the perfect lineup, and it came out sounding amazing. Because, like, we just the reason it didn't work out with the other people we were playing with before is because we were young. We had a lot of lofty ideals, but we were like early 20s. We didn't have the money to go to a big studio and do all the stuff we wanted to do, and we just kept procrastinating and playing shows. So, the way it worked out now.
The biggest nail in the coffin for us because I've told this to like numerous, like they know it and they also have kind of the same problem, but I've told this to numerous members of my band. We're better about it now, but like, God, do we love getting on stage, and that's great. But there is such a thing as first of all, I think we were aware of it, but there were plenty of times like we oversaturated. We were playing too much in the same area, just doing the same classic mistakes that people do when you're just, I want to do it. I got something to do. I got to have something to do. And and like Bryson said, we had a lot of lofty ideals, even thinking back now. And if I try to put myself back in the mindset of how we were back then, we would literally sit in a studio that had a full recording setup and we just wouldn't use it sometimes. And of course there was stuff going on and we were trying to write stuff and like there's other priorities, but it's just one of those things where it's like you're so caught up in your own like ego journey of like life and just what you do being a gigging musician and all that is you just like time lost. But also like Bryson and Eli have mentioned too, there's just a lot of bumps in the road that you have to be realistic about stuff. You could want something more than anything in the world, but you can't be destitute because of it. You can't leave yourself negative in the bank account all the time because of it.
Oh yeah,
I think that stuff like that really changed how I approached making music, because for a very long time when we were trying to do this band and many other bands we've all been in together, we would always just be like, none of us know how to record, or we don't know who to talk to, or we don't know anybody this far in the scene to help us figure things out like that. So it eventually just kind of got pushed aside and we were just having fun playing with each other all the time. But it motivated me to learn how to record and learn how to just start with the Scarlet solo start with Reaper and just figure out how to track yourself, figure out how to, just get started. And then, it takes a while. You start understanding the gear you want to use. And from there, you just start being able to express yourself openly, because I would say it would probably take a lot longer and a lot more from all of us if we had to go to a studio to make this album happen. But since we were all able to literally come and hang out and spend time together working on it in the same room together on my computer, it just made it much more like, communal. Everyone's hands were in the pot. So
it felt like being in like a crazy studio, having like we're making this crazy. It felt like that, but it was on the more personal end, just because. Yeah, nothing's better than just being able to kick back. Eli's got a very cozy crib. The light comes in from the windows. You're hanging out with your best friend all day. Like, fucking awesome, man. It made the process even more sentimental than it already was, working on a record that's been around for so long. And so I'm very glad we got to do it in-house, because, and like Eli bluntly said it too. It's like, dude, if we were sending this to anybody else, I don't think they would have either the patience or the time. You know what I mean? Because we're trying to bring all these old ideas back, modernize them, add like the little flair to it, while also keeping true. There's just so many moving parts to it. I don't think I would have even wanted to entertain someone else other than Eli, at least doing this record, especially.
Plus, you'd be paying a lot of money to get that.
Exactly.
A lot. To get that love. Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, true.
And then touching on something you said earlier with like, there are band members who are just you're strictly a guitar player. This guy only writes guitar. He has no tech knowledge. He has no, nothing outside of doing that. And a lot of times bands will have an entire band of that. It's kind of hard nowadays, in 2024. It's like you have to have the business mindset. You have to be a little bit of a graphic designer, a little bit of a video editor, a little bit of a producer, or at least one of those things, or your band just doesn't get anywhere.
Yeah, pretty much. Or at least know someone, but at the same time.
That's good. It seems like you guys have a bunch of know-how in the band, which is great.
Now, just a quick question, Eli. Do you pay for Reaper?
No, I actually use Logic Pro.
There you go.
Our boy upgraded big time.
I just right click and just start recording.
Oh, I've hit.
Yeah, always evaluating. Don't you ever give them money.
My computer has a burn mark in it. From that still evaluating button. I slammed the hell out of it.
Yeah, still evaluating, bro.
I'm not.
I just started using Reaper, so.
Nice.
I've recorded my whole band's EP on here, but I'm not sold. Okay, I'm just saying, not really sold on this.
Oh man. Free software is the best.
Yeah, definitely.
Yeah, well, shout out to the dude who made Reaper.
Free, but you make it free.
Yeah.
True.
We appreciate that. We do.
Oh yeah, man. I whenever I get the audio from when we record the episode, I run it through Audacity first, and to me, Audacity is the fastest and quickest way to get rid of like peaks. Like peaks.
Yeah.
You can really minimize those, and you just export it and boom, done, easy, quick, instead of fucking around with it. And I use Mixcraft, I got that for free. That's the reason why I use that.
Good old Mixcraft.
Hey, if it sounds good and it works, who cares?
It does. But yeah, so yeah, I don't know where I was going with that. Free is awesome, I guess.
Oh man. So fuck. What other question should we answer?
I don't know, man.
God damn it, Mike.
No. So all right.
So I'm going to take over. Bryson, what bands are you listening to right now?
What did I send you the other day? The crepuscular dirge of
I can do it. All right, my original thing before we went on this crazy ass tangent was, all right, so the album, right? It's out in this hypothetical time right now. It's out. What is the game plan? Do you guys have any videos? I was making a joke before, but do you have that? You guys don't have a drummer. I get that. You can't play shows unless you want to do a click, which is fine. I've seen a lot of people do that. What's the game plan for the future now? Luckily we'll have a video out.
from this day that we're doing this now should be in a couple days. So by the end of the month, everyone should have seen a video that's for our second single, A Shadow's Existence, that just came out on Friday of this week. So yeah, so hopefully everybody's checked that shit out, and
what kind of video?
They're into the record.
Okay. Lyric video?
No, it's going to be was it Stockholm?
Yeah, I believe so. That's what I said. All part of like Maro's like team of like creatives and stuff. That's been another thing too, is that Maro and the people at These Hands Melt really are like contributing their own ideas, but they're really trying to like facilitate the image that we want. And I think they're very like-minded, because we are definitely one of the more extreme, like, out of left field kind of bands compared to them. But there's a general like kind of forlorn. I would say there's almost like, and not in a boring way, I guess more in a mood way. There's like kind of that overcast over a lot of the bands in terms of sound, like some of the bands that released stuff like Synth. I think that's how you say it. It's a V instead of a Y. If I'm saying it wrong, I'm sorry to my label mates, but they're great. Moon Noises just came out with stuff. And again, there's that general kind of like deep brooding despair that's going on the label, and we're really locked into it, and it's really coming across in like the visuals and the other creative stuff they're working on. They've been very helpful with that, and always willing to too. Like any idea we brought tomorrow has been like super receptive, super helpful. Like, yeah, especially with the video, I'm really excited to see people's reactions to it, because I think it's a work of art.
That's awesome, man. Yeah, I mean, hey, you enjoyed it already, but
that's what I know.
I have not.
I know. I'm speaking in the past future of now, that I hope people have absorbed it and gotten the message.
Future of future past.
Excellent.
He's like, man.
We're
I feel like
officially Time Lords. I love that. Now that became our ongoing meme in this.
Yeah.
Another thing too is we're gonna have plenty of guitar playthroughs going through. So head over to our YouTube channel and check that shit out, so you can see what's being played on the record too.
And along with the playthroughs, we've been
nice.
Like, we grew up, and I'm sure y'all did too, and just that there was that era from like when basically we were in middle school, high school, for like 2007 to like 2014. Man, labels were like, man, you need to make the documentary. You need to like discuss the album. And like, we love that stuff. So we're also planning on doing some content like that, just more like speak on the themes of it, and going more in depth. And I don't know. I'm one of those YouTube people. I like literally watch YouTube more than anything. So I've always found value in just like, I wouldn't say we would ever like vlog or anything like that, but I would love to just see, like, especially as we get more active and we have like a full lineup and we're gigging more, I'm just excited to make more casual videos and just see what we're about. Because I think on the surface, like I said, there's like this image and this brooding atmosphere about our music, but there's all dorks. And, you know what I mean? We're all very approachable, fun people, and we just make that kind of music. So
that's our bread and butter.
Dude,
that's our bread and butter there. We're Shreddy Bois. Hey, we're a bunch of dumbasses. Watch our episode.
Solidarity with my fellow dumbasses.
Yeah, other than that, we are working on album 2. It's basically done already, so we are just working on
everything
getting it
now,
learned and polishing, and then we'll be on to recording that. So hopefully we'll bring it to you a lot sooner than 12 years from now.
Yeah.
12 years from now.
Yeah.
Okay, yeah. So this is gonna be Metalonia 2, I see. 12 years from now.
Right.
No way.
Actually,
this album will be 22 songs long.
Oh God.
A little longer than a few minutes later.
Hey, all I'm gonna say is this, dude, and shout out, dude, and I think everyone in the band can agree. Shout out Steve Kornauer, my dad, bro. Oh, he's just he's one of those classic rocker dads, dude. He's like driven me to practices, like the whole thing. Shout out my dad. That motherfucker busted his ass. He did like 3 extra side jobs to get me that bad boy. So shout out Pops, dude. Let's put it, I would have to be destitute in the fucking dirt. I would never sell that guitar. That thing's like my baby.
My parents got me a $600 car, and they're like, "Your ass is going to work."
Dude.
Let's go. Hey, let's go.
Hey, shout out to shout out to those shit boxes that get you that first job, though, dude.
The Mazda.
Shout out. The Mazda, dude.
The '98 Dodge Intrepid.
I had a Mazda Protege.
I had a '93 Chrysler Concorde, and both of them have driven in that piece of shit, dude. That thing was rusted the fuck out, dude. That thing could barely make it to the grocery store.
Holy shit!
All I got was this old mug.
Dude,
My
shout out.
windshield
What was
wipers
your
didn't
old
work.
car, though? What was your old shitbox car that we love? Esmeralda?
Man, stop calling her a shitbox. She was a great car. 95. You were
Okay.
Century Special. If I could find another one
Very
right now, I'd
sensitive
buy
about
that
it.
bitch.
Okay, no. Okay, listen. I use the word shitbox totally as a term of endearment because it literally fits the definition, dude. You had to deal with shit with that like every fucking month, dog. But it's
I did
Esmeralda.
smash the front end, so once the front end was smashed, it was a done deal. So yeah, then she was a shitbox.
R.I.P. to Esmeralda, bro.
No, mine didn't have
Yeah.
AC, so the summers were brutal on me.
Oh, same.
man.
Yeah.
I had
windows
times
roll
without the
down.
AC.
Yeah, my windows didn't even roll for a couple months. It was rough. I remember taking my mom to the airport and just suffering. I'm like, I'm sorry.
God, the only thing in my car that I made sure was good was my stereo system. I like swapped all
For
the
sure.
speakers and put a nice. At the time, it was what was a headphone jack input in there. I was running
Yeah.
my iPod Classic through it. I'm like, yeah.
No, I used to have
Fuck
those.
yeah.
That's it.
I used to have like those speakers that like boom in the back of your trunk because my dad added those a long time ago.
Subwoofers.
Oh,
Yeah, there you go. Whatever those.
fuck.
So when I was jamming the death metal, that everyone was able to hear it from that. It was so damn loud.
Blowing
I
up
was
the
like,
fucking street.
Everyone's like, "What are you jamming to?" I was like, "I know that's not rap." I'm like, "Yep, you're correct."
If you have to ask, you can't afford it.
Yeah.
Oh,
Right.
got him.
You have
There
to
you go.
ask.
There you go. Shut
know
them up
what?
quickly.
Yeah, you know what? I'm gonna start saying that.
I only listen to
Yeah.
upper middle class deathcore. That's all I listen to.
If
What
your
is
parents
that?
didn't
No,
buy
no,
you
I
So
only
what band would
listen
okay? Hold
to-
on. What band would fit that though? What band would actually fit upper
Escuela
middle
grind,
class?
Escuela grind. Well, not
Yep.
deathcore, but hardcore.
Shout
Escuela
out,
grind.
shout out for literally the worst way to handle any controversy in the history of anything in the history of the fucking universe.
I
Dumbass.
swear, like in the fact that the drummer and the
Goofy,
vocalist are rich kids posing off as middle class kids. I was like,
Literally taking pictures with Laura Bush, bro. Like, are you fucking
Yeah.
with my head right now? Like,
Oh shit.
and also, and it's like everyone's trying. And
She
I know,
dead.
man, it
Thought
was
she
so
was
fucked
dead.
up just seeing how that turned out, man. But I don't know, bro. I mean, I'm lucky for the things I have, but a trust punk dude, that shit's cringe, bro. I cannot do that. I cannot do that.
that's the biggest cringe of the century.
This has been the craziest amount of time, and we've only been in this meeting for like 3 minutes. We've jumped to so many different topics.
Dude,
It
I
fits,
love it.
though. It perfectly fits.
Dude, that was
does.
smooth, man. Oh my god.
It was a smooth transition. I was
He's
like,
like,
no, yeah.
speaking of Laura Bush, yes, I do have a solar guitar.
No, because
Dude,
you
that's
brought
you
up
said it was
earlier
paper
about
jams.
the deathcore drama. Paper
Oh
jams.
my god, dude.
my
It
Paper
never
Jams
ends.
guitar.
I don't even know what band that shit's fucking related to. I just know that like my friend made something about it and then everyone attacked them on Twitter. I'm like, okay, what else is fucking new? Like my friend's a hater.
No, yeah, Escuela grind is one that I've just looked into the rabbit hole because I kept seeing articles back and forth.
Yeah.
I'm like, what's going on? It was first it was the guitarist saying that, hey, maybe we should all wear earplugs, and it's like, oh, you're killing the vibe, bro. You're being replaced. And then
That's
there's
literally a
allegations.
Hard Times article. That doesn't.
Yeah.
When I heard that, I'm like, if that's true, out of all the things that are bad with that, out of all the things, there's tons of terrible shit. If that's the one thing, bro, this is not Spinal Tap. Shut the fuck up, dude. Like it is. Grindcore is not that grindcore. You know what they play. I'm not trying to be one of those dudes who's like in the Lambgo comments, like, oh, this sounds like metalcore, because that's not correct at all. They don't. But I'm also like, dude, just because you got the dude from Napalm Death on there, that shit is not grindcore, bro. I'm sorry.
Yeah.
It's not grindcore, bro.
Oh man.
I listen to Anal Nathrak, bro. I listen to like absolutely mentally ill grindcore. You know what I'm saying? So, dude,
Mom
they're-
Rock
God.
does not put out a bad record ever. Those
See-
dudes put out only good records.
I know.
And
As
for
soon
only
as I
being a
said
two-piece.
something- dude, I knew as soon
I
as I
only
said
listen-
something, Eli was gonna be right there with me, dude.
Yeah.
Because love them, dude. Oh my god, such a good band.
I only listen to mentally ill post technical death metal.
I
What was
listen
the
to
second-
mentally
You need
ill black metal.
Right.
Dissonant,
So Life Lover?
dissonant, mentally ill,
Life Lover?
blackened death metal.
Black and death metal. Oh.
I only listen to Escapee from a mental asylum metal, aka Silencer. I only listen to Silencer. The most horrific music
I mean,
that's
I
ever
was
made.
actually serious about black metal. I only listened to the Dead era of Mayhem, so
Dude,
I
back
only
though.
listen to Roundabout by Yes.
Yes.
alrighty then.
Now,
That's,
okay, now
that's,
this is
that's
turning into
enough.
some YouTube shorts. This is turning into
Exactly.
a YouTube
No,
short right now.
that's enough shenanigans. You know what? We since we are talking about music, what would you guys say? Like, what influences would best describe you guys, if anything, or unless
Pretend I'm an old lady.
yeah, pretend he's an old lady.
Ah,
Oh,
Sonny,
man.
look at you.
It's even
with
worse.
your multiple beards and mustaches. What type
So
of
listen
music do
here,
you play?
Grandma. This ain't no fucking Jethro Tull.
Oh,
Fucking
my.
none of that. I'm
Oh,
talking
sweet Jesus.
7 strings. Can you even count to 7 anymore? Can you see how many fingers I got up right now?
There's so
Can you,
many
lady?
numbers.
Well, you know
Back in
what?
my
There's
day,
going to be plenty
Gibson's
more.
only had 6 strings.
Back in my day, Gibson didn't fucking farm illegal ebony and then get fined by the government. So
Well,
sucks.
it was probably happening. You just didn't know about it.
Dude, I remember when that was a thing, dude. I worked at Guitar Center during that, bro. That was cringe. And they had to replace all those automatic tuners. Gibson's a terrible company. I'm sorry.
There you
bro.
go.
I'm a Jackson
There.
Fender dude nowadays. Oh, and Ibanez, but
There's-
Fender Jackson all day. Not that Fender doesn't have its
Yeah.
issues, obviously.
Oh
But
shit!
I'm gonna shut up, bro.
Oh,
I'm going
man.
off.
I was gonna say congratulations on making the bumper for the episode.
What gives it?
I'm gonna shut up. I'm probably gonna shut up. I should shut up. I'm just gonna sit back and listen to some mentally ill jazz disco gent.
Oh, Sleep Token. I hate Sleep Token. Sorry. Every joke, I'm just like, oh, I know exactly what band you're talking about.
God damn it! Answer the old lady. What do you sound
Okay.
like?
Oh shit!
All right. Okay, Bryson, you go first. Let's all like give
So
general influence.
There's some big contortionist influences, obviously,
Yes.
breakdowns, pretty chords, stuff like that. Big Ever Forthright, if you remember them from back in the day, Last Chance to Reason, those are all
Okay.
bands I was listening to really heavy when writing this stuff. It's got a little, sorry, I'm hogging now, but it's got a little, a little cynic vibes. It's got a little. There's so many things, it's such a long album and just it's all over the place. Yeah, what would you guys say?
So to
Man.
piggyback off of. Oh no, you go ahead first, Eli. I literally have been fucking yapping. So
That's cool. I would say
now
that.
he's self-conscious about it.
We
Don't be
love you, Nick.
self-conscious about it,
Shush.
I don't know. I would probably say, like, influence wise, having that most of the music was written before I joined, I took a lot of influence from like the Faceless, from vocals, Between the Buried and Me. Also the Contortionists at the time, from when we were joining this band, that's kind of what everybody's listening to at the time as well. There's a lot of different band influence, like Rosetta, for the stuff that's really ambient and progressive moving and stuff like that. So it's kind of a lot of different stylings is all that in there. And then jazz wise too, there's some cool movements we've done, and we've taken that from a lot of different bands too. So kind of got to just have an open ear.
Yeah.
Man, I was listening the other day and I caught some Storm Corrosion influence. I just remembered. Like I was listening to that heavy back in the day. There's some Storm
Yeah.
Corrosion influence.
That's
Yeah, a
some
lot
like
of-
later Opeth too.
yeah, I like they covered a lot of it. Like the biggest things, it's like I've always described the band as basically like it's just like I'm trying to think of another band to replace it because I always had one band, but I want to replace it. It's basically like if you put like Contortionist and Cynic and like that kind of like very precise, very like jagged, like off time kind of prog metal, and then you just mixed it in with like that tunnel blanket. Like This Will Destroy You is probably one of our biggest like soundscape influences. Yeah, just like progressive post metal, dude. Like as it gets, like, and it's just so nice too because it opens so many doors for us. Like we can literally do whatever we want. And that's what's so liberating about being in a band like this, especially like I'm a big like absurdist about art. Like I think everything should be as ridiculous and like as maximalist as it can be. And I like all variations of that, minimal, whatever. But just being able to know that you can make something, especially in a genre like metal, that can be like we talked about, like it can be very like there's and like I made my jokes earlier. There's nothing wrong with being like a straightforward death metal band, straightforward black metal band. That music's incredible. That music has literally influenced us and all those other crazier bands. But it's just knowing that it's like at any moment I could just, you know what, like it doesn't matter what I've been listening to. It doesn't matter what we've all been discussing. It's like ideas can just come up and there's no barrier. And it's never been that way too. I mean, even when we were just learning these songs and focusing on that and like getting together as a band through the previous lineups and just jamming ideas out, like the first ideas that became what will be the next record. I mean, it's just, and it's flowed too. I mean, it's like, I remember me and Eli would get off because we worked at Guitar Center together when we first started getting in this band. So it would be like, okay, we're off work 9:30, 10 o'clock, go right up to the space, be up there till 3, 4 in the morning. You shouldn't be driving afterwards. Probably should take a fucking nap, but just absolute
Random
lunatic
question.
shit. What's up?
Random question. Where did you work in the Guitar Center? I have a guess in my head.
I'm going to let Eli answer that. And then you could like base it off of that because we were in the same department.
Oh, which department? We worked in guitars.
That's not
all day, dude. And got
I thought for sure you were going to be in the drums area.
Yeah.
Oh, we would be though.
Actually, other
if
way
they
around.
let us.
Yeah, other way around. I was covering drums for the longest amount of time when I worked there.
Actually, because you had way more knowledge than me about drums at the time. Definitely.
It was fun, dude, because other people would come in and help educate me, and I got to learn all about different skins, you know, what different wood actually means for different tunings and what kind of sound you're actually trying to capture with the shells. And it was
that
really
makes
cool.
sense why you were able to do it. Like, you know, make the drums sound so realistic. Like you have a better understanding than just like even more than just your ears. Like you learned about them a little bit. That makes sense.
Yeah, I mean, I'm still definitely a fucking idiot, but I try to make as much sense as possible. Like,
hey, baby, we hear you loud and clear. We hear you loud and clear. Don't even worry, dude. Nothing was better than I'd be at the counter while someone's like going to the bathroom, so it's only me on the floor, like in guitars, and then all I hear is just, I know exactly what this dude sounds like when he fucking blasts, and it's just like that, dude. It would get me through the fucking day, dude. That shit was so funny.
Yeah, I was really obsessed with enslaved blast beats, like from Frost, where it's kind of just like a triplet with your right hand, but not with your left. The shit is very cult and it's very 90s.
I was gonna say, is all the stereotypes true of you guys just listening to like Enter Sandman and Walk by Pantera? And
it's like that, but you can't even imagine how much worse it is because it's in Joliet, and I love Joliet. I love that we grew up there.
Yeah.
I love it. But the thing about Joliet is, it's like, so every place that people get into rock and metal, you know, with a lot of people, it could start with their parents, right? Like their parents like Zeppelin or some shit, and like Metallica. Most parents do Nirvana. Like those are the bands that most parents, you have some variation of like in those like big bands, and it gets people into different scenes and stuff. And oh my god, like because it was such a cast of characters too, because we were working at the Guitar Center that all the local bands were going to. So, you know, that was another big thing for us, kind of like a networking thing and really fun to just like, our friends would come in and would be like, oh, cool. Like they could just be there for an hour. They're going to like, at least they're going to play semi-decent riffs, or if they're going to play the cringe, like blues lawyer riffs, they're going to play them good. And, yeah, dude, I can't even, I'm trying to think of like specific examples.
Oh, Sweet Child of Mine.
Sweet Child
of Mine hurt. That one hurts a lot.
Because I'm pretty sure it was like one of the years that there was like a Slash Epiphone model that came out. So it was just like, it just breeded more and more cyclical shit, dude. Like, oh my God. Dude, like, I will say though, what was fun about that though, at least, I think Eli could speak to this too. Like, hey, at least they were bringing some deathcore riffs. So I remember one day I remember me and one of my buddies, because this dude played like a Veil of Maya song perfectly. I'm like, dude, who are you, dude? Like, you're fucking god. That was Ramon, dude. Fucking Ramon. Who used to be in a couple old bands. I don't know. He
originally played in Molder. before the lineup switched up.
Yeah.
Well, I know them. All right, guys. Well, you know what? We are coming up on an hour here. Why don't we go back to the release of this beautiful, beautiful, tasty album?
When did it came out?
Tasty riffs.
The future.
The future past, if you will. All right, so
March 29th.
March 29th. It's out. It's been out. Maybe not. Maybe it is. I don't know.
Maybe this is dropping the same day it happens to come out.
Maybe. That would be fantastic, wouldn't it?
That would be
It's
cool.
out.
But, so obviously it's going to be out on all of the streaming platforms, correct?
Absolutely.
Now,
Yes, sir.
you guys were doing this pre-order here. I'm assuming it's for physical stuff, right? What are
Yes,
we talking about
sir.
for a physical release here?
We got hella CDs.
Hella CDs.
Hella CDs.
Yes. We
Yeah,
got
got
you
a
go
cool
ahead.
digipack with the insert with all the lyrics, and the design's really sick. That's another thing that
Yes.
was completely done by These Hands Melt and all the other artists involved too. They create a really cool digipack that everybody should pick up. And yeah,
Yes,
whole album's
please.
out on the 29th. Hopefully you have a copy by then. That would be really cool.
I can be
good.
sentimental for a second in a way that I'm sure reflects on the boys. Like, motherfuckers are always excited to get their stuff put, whether it's on wax or on CD, and like we're equally as excited. But this has been such a long process, such a beautiful process, especially with how it ended, building it, just finalizing everything. So yes, please get a digipack. It's a gift from us to you. We've been working on this for so long, and we hope you feel the love that's been put into it, especially just in the past couple of years. Like, it's just been like, it feels like just yesterday we were like finishing up the recording, and now it's like, shit, the set's gonna be done at the end of the month. So please, we'd really appreciate it. And again, shout out to the Hands Melt for all the help.
If I were a smarter man, I would have asked for the album in advance so that I could tell you how awesome it is. But hey, guys, I'm just as clueless as you guys from the future past. I just have, so far, one single to go off of, and just based off this one single, I could tell you that it's going to be a fantastic release.
Yeah, I agree. It might make it in my top 10 of this year. I tend to do these type of things.
His top
fuck yeah.
50.
That would be awesome.
If you guys want to try and learn some crazy cool riffs, we've got this song called Lift Through 1, 2, and 3, and it spans about like 22 minutes, filled with riffs.
Holy
Everybody should
shit.
check that one out in the middle.
Holy crap.
Yeah.
Fantastic.
Yeah, especially when I can't wait to have to play that live. Thanks, Bryson, for doing
You're welcome. You're welcome.
writing that fucking shit.
I got you.
Oh,
Yeah, anytime.
my gosh.
Anytime.
Guitar World, hit us up.
22 minutes. Jesus Christ.
Yeah,
I'm thinking
the old
if you guys
drummer.
decided to play that live.
Oh
We
yeah,
plan
yeah,
on
it'd
it.
be
Say that again,
ridiculous.
sorry.
Yeah.
Let's
Just saying, the
fucking
old
do it.
drummer,
Live.
wanted a long song, and so yeah, you don't ask
Yeah.
someone like me for a long song because I don't know how to chill for very long. So yeah,
You just
You need
like,
to-
for
we
inspiration.
need to
I'm
get you
just
listening
gonna
to some more
listen
like
to a
new
bunch
metal
of-
and hardcore. We just gotta smooth your brain out just a little bit more. Your brain has a lot
been
of
listening to
wrinkles 'cause
Ken
you're
Mode.
smart.
I listened
That
to Ken
shit's
Mode this
ignorant.
week.
Yes, sir. That shit's ignorant. Fuck yeah, dude. I
Real
endorse
quick,
that.
dudes. Real quick, I want to do a quick shout out for Matt Watkins, who played bass for us on this record.
Oh my god, we haven't even mentioned that. Oh my
everybody-
god, yeah.
Yeah.
Everybody in the scene should probably know his band Burned in Effigy. Check that shit out also if you're into like
Incredible.
really
Oh,
cool
yes,
technical
we
melodic
do.
death metal. Yep.
Yeah, dude.
Matt,
Matt,
came through and did amazing work.
Fantastic.
Just beautiful playing, and he was telling us after the fact that he didn't even go nuts with it. So hoping he goes nuts with the next one because he did so good. Oh my god.
like a special compliments
yeah,
to
I
how
could've played
technical
better.
everything is. Everything's super technical, and he nailed that aspect of it. But when it came to especially the ambient songs, just some of the just ideas I don't think any of us could have came up with. Like if we had to exclusively take over bass and we were gonna write the bass, I couldn't have never thought of any of that shit that he came up with. It was absolutely immaculate, tasteful, jazz oriented playing, but without doing too much. He really stayed in his lane in a way that complements the songs really well.
That's awesome. Yeah, and again, based off of the one single, I could say confidently it sounds just so together, if that makes any sense. Even the drums, that they don't sound apart from anything. It's
They don't
very
sound
cohesive. Yeah, nothing about it is artificial for sure. So,
you guys, that's awesome to hear.
Here's a $1 million question. Where can we find you guys? Plug in your socials. Not your social security, but...
Well, let me get a pen, and then you could...
Yeah, so you can find us on Facebook, Instagram, Twitter, TikTok, all that stuff. All of it at Abscissor Music.
Are you guys really on TikTok?
Posting. Yeah. Nick is handling the TikTok.
I've been handling that. That we be getting love because we post up a playthrough, people getting good response. We appreciate it.
That's interesting. That was one of the things that we kind of talked about, when we started this show. But I'm like, Brian's got a TikTok. He could just post all this shit.
I'll just put it on mine along with like clips of me playing shows or something, whatever. It's a whatever thing,
Yeah,
for sure.
It's such a good thing to do because like there's like any other any other app or anything like that, you got to capitalize on it, and like especially like there's just so many opportunities now to do that, and unfortunately that's kind of baked into the strategy of everything. Now you should still do the old school stuff, you should still fly, you should still do all the classic stuff, but it's like that. I mean, we talk about it all the time. It's like in a perfect world you'd be able to be off of social media, but it's like being in a band, you got to be on everything, whether you like it or not. And then if you don't, maybe that's like in my other band, like it basically comes down to, if you're not going to do that social media, I'll do this one. Someone's got to have some login to do something. You know what I mean? Like, oh, you don't want to do the Twitter? Okay, just do the basic Facebook stuff. You know what I mean? Like, because I get it. Some people don't like it. Some people don't like the idea of having like me and Eli and Bryson, we can make a paragraph or like, oh, thank you and all this stuff and like really liven something up. Some people don't have the skills for it, but like you got to be out there. You got to divvy up those sort of responsibilities. It's important.
Oh, it's so difficult. I wish I could pay somebody to do it, honestly.
And you can, and they'd be great to do it, but it's like
you also got to be careful as well.
Oh yeah,
honestly, too. Absolutely. At the end of the day, I feel like there's bands I listen to still, and even in the past, where I almost lose some kind of a connection because I know I'm not interacting with the artist in a sense. Sometimes, like it doesn't have to be the biggest band in the world. I'm sure when someone's touring 9 months out of the year, they're not going to sit on the Instagram and make that post. But other bands, that do, stuff a lot less than that, and you can sit there and know, like, I'm going to send my message and say thanks for the merch, and the dude who made the music's going to know that. Like, to me, that's more invaluable. But it's at the same time, everyone's got to be on every platform these days. It's part of just playing the game, especially while they try to squander your views literally every way possible.
Yeah. Yeah, I mean, because like that's the thing, like that's why I'm big on doing like more mod or whatever. Like Twitter and TikTok are such big ones to do because it feels more like the town square kind of thing. It really does feel like everything's just kind of thrown into the ether, and algorithms will serve you to a point. You know what I mean? Which sucks. You got to even leave it up to that, but yeah.
Yeah, with that being said, too, all the pre-orders when they ship out will be done carrier pigeon. So we're going full all the way back. So if you place one, keep an eye out. Keep your window open. Let them in.
Yeah. It's like a hair.
Keep the pigeons. The pigeons do not come with the orders. Let the pigeons go, please.
They all go back to the coop that's on top of Bryson's crib. Like the tower.
Why is it my house?
I don't know, dude. You strike me as like a dude who would go on the roof of his building to check on the pigeons. Because
there's some very pretty pigeons in the courtyard.
You have Snow White vibes, dog. Animals chill with all of us, but they especially chill with Bryson. You got Snow White vibes.
What is that song from Shrek where it's like instead of a bird, it's a pigeon. It's like because pigeons are not birds.
I was thinking about the Hey Arnold
not in my
reference
house
as well, where the dude has a pigeon coop.
Oh,
he can't trust
the pigeon guy.
Pigeon guy. There you go. That was like
Jesus.
Alrighty then, guys. Well, thank you so much. This was a really fun interview.
It was fun.
Thank you for having
that was
us,
awesome. Hell yeah.
Loaded with a bunch of laughs.
Oh yeah, God, this is like definitely top like 4 or something. If I had to put it all out there, there's like the cannibal abortion episode. There's the Christmas episodes, which we just intentionally make them as fun as humanly possible.
As it should be. Hell yeah.
It's good when an interview is effortless, if you know what I mean.
Yeah. Thank you.
So
that means a lot, dude. Thank you.
It's fantastic.
Appreciate that.
Thank you again for joining us. And guys, I'm looking at you now, the audience. There's a camera over here. You guys can't see it. go get their album in one way or another, whether it's by pigeon, whether it's just digitally, whether it's on the streaming services. Listen to this goddamn album.
And Yari, listen here and listen well. These guys released this in within a span of 13 years with no crowdfunding campaigns. Learn from these guys.
Dude, Winter Sun, get on my level, bro.
Exactly. Get on their
Dude,
level.
go to a sauna at a YMCA, you dumbass. What are you talking about? Go to a YMCA. What are you doing?
Pre-order this ass.
Yeah, and tell your drummers, tell all your drummer friends.
Dude,
Yeah,
for
yeah,
There's a
real.
line outside our door, please.
If
God
you
damn,
are
we
an
need a drummer.
open-minded, progressive metal, jazz influenced drummer, you need
Mentally
to hit us up.
ill.
With that,
That-
Harvard
that-
University music degree.
You can have one. You can either be mentally ill or be from Harvard. It has to be one of those
It's got to
two.
be
though.
one or the other.
Gotta be one or the other.
There's
If
the
you
other
both know,
clip.
get out of here.
Thank you.
Bam, bam.
Yeah, Shreddy Bois. All right. Goodbye.
Shit, yeah.
See you guys.
All right.